What do pizza, music, and SMS have in common?
Although his restaurant's specialty pie normally cost $24, it was discounted for only $16 on DoorDash. This was clearly a bug since DoorDash was still paying them the full $24 every time someone ordered it. So this meant that if Adam ordered one of these pizzas from his own restaurant, he was basically earning $8 for free. And since Adam took it a step further and simply began ordering empty pizzas to himself, which was basically endless free money since DoorDash just kept paying the full amount for these accidentally discounted pizzas.
A North Carolina man, Michael Smith,
I'm Prison Mike,
was recently indicted for using AI to create hundreds of thousands of songs. Then he racked up millions of fake streams using bot farms to generate over $10 million in fraudulent royalties.
This infinite money glitch creates huge disputes. Enterprise is an increasingly valuable market segment for operators, but disputed traffic from AIT is causing massive disruptions in revenue. AIT, rising termination costs, and impersonation or spoofing are strangling growth of the A2P market.
According to a GLF survey, 62% of carriers said they experience a high volume and high levels of financial impact from AIT. According to Mobile Squared, up to 80% of OTP requests for international businesses are fraudulent. And we found that for any one brand, it may be 30 to 60% of their SMS spend.
Small businesses and enterprises with no evidence that traffic is fraudulent may dispute charges but frequently end up assuming the costs. Operators have told us about losing as much as $250,000 in one day on inflated SMS traffic because they simply could not force multiple enterprise customers to pay, or because they themselves had no evidence to dispute the traffic to downstream carriers.
Operators who meet the cybersecurity needs of enterprises can also open new revenue streams and prevent valuable customers from moving to third-party providers.
We all know that bad incentives in SMS make bad actors an inevitability, but how can operators fight to retain integrity in this channel and avoid costly disputes with valuable enterprise customers?
What if operators and enterprises could prove delivery? And if enterprise and anyone else in the chain could prove non-delivery downstream?
Imagine if banks and other enterprises had control over how and when their numbers are used in SMS and could validate every message sent with their sender ID.
Bringing visibility and accountability to the delivery chain, incentives gradually shift to validate traffic and away from fraud like inflation and trashing schemes.
What if AIT messages were never disputed because they were never sent in the first place? The AB Handshake solution provides a neutral, objective, decentralized peer-to-peer service to validate traffic end-to-end with optional AI-based fraud detection for added integrity. End-to-end validation provides evidence of terminated messages, creating evidence of trash traffic and foul play in the chain.
AI-based detection analyzing messages at the originating sender can prevent this SMS from being sent in the first place, protecting both enterprises and operators from disputes.
For operators, this solution can address spoofing, bypass, and other costly fraud, as well as opening new revenue streams by expanding fraud prevention as a service to valuable enterprise customers, and even monetizing access to message delivery status for upstream aggregators.
For enterprise, in addition to shielding them from devastating AIT attacks, end-to-end validation can also protect their brand and reputation by verifying messages attempting to use their sender IDs.
Some carriers offer AIT protection, but this further complicates the incentives and does not necessarily protect all traffic. AB Handshake is a carrier-neutral technology vendor. Our patented validation protocol is already used by dozens of operators and has been deployed to successfully combat misinformation campaigns, smishing and bypass from spoofed numbers at the national level.
Our AI-based fraud detection is already saving small enterprises thousands in AIT. Telcos offering this as a service are in the best position. We know major apps and brands also use AI-based detection to combat AIT, but this is not accessible to most companies.
Let's take a look at how validation works first. The sender, this would usually be an enterprise CPaaS platform or maybe the originating operator, would send the message details to the registry. When the message reaches the terminating operator, they send a query to verify the sender. A centralized coordination node routes the query based on the sender ID to the originator's registry. If the message details do not match, the message is flagged as the terminating operator can block, allow, or label the message based on the criteria in real time.
Detecting CLI spoofing can also prevent OBR fraud and many other costly wholesale and interconnect fraud types. For the enterprise, visibility of messages that are not terminated indicates trashing, which is indicative of inflation, and gives them evidence to dispute the traffic or avoid aggregators that routinely lose messages. They can also see where and how their numbers are spoofed in fraudulent attacks. Because the platform is peer-to-peer or end-to-end, it could also be used to deliver other information such as billing information or direct messages.
While validation does provide enterprise and operators with evidence of bumping and trashing, it cannot directly prevent it. This is where AI comes in. The AI analyzes over 200 parameters of the signaling layer and applies behavioral traffic pattern analysis, correlation, and predictive AI to detect fraudulent patterns in OTP and other A2P and P2P traffic. Optionally, the system can validate URLs against a database of legitimate domains and apply semantic text analysis to message content to identify suspicious traffic, such as spam and smishing. The system also references a dynamic database of prefixes affected by AIT and can correlate delivery report patterns and analytics.
The AI detection engine has accuracy rate of over 99.9%, ensuring legitimate traffic and legitimate traffic volumes are unaffected. Pre-trained on billions of messages, the system has self-learning and supervised modes to optimize detection and includes features such as flash code detection to improve A2P monetization strategies.
Here on the dashboard, we can see the volumes of fraudulent messages inbound, outbound, and broken down by type, as well as total national, international, and validated message volumes.
We can also see volumes and threat severity broken down by country, network, and gateway. And of course, detailed logs including A and B numbers, rules, and actions, and other details. And here we can add, activate, and deactivate specific rules for blocking and alerting.
Multi-tenancy allows groups and hubs to create instances for opcos, and all service providers can create instances for their enterprise customers. The dashboard shows total traffic, traffic blocked, as well as SMS spend and prevented charges, which can be broken down by segment, fraud type, network, and other parameters.
Of course, anytime we are blocking spam, scam, and unwanted traffic, we are radically upgrading the user experience. But to further rebuild trust in messaging, the platform supports message labeling, such as adding a verified sender icon or adding warnings about message origin or suspicious links and content.
Many operators have feedback mechanisms to allow users to report fraudulent or spam traffic. API calls can be configured to trigger a second automated check of any message or a manual review and return the result to the end user. Again, triggering the SMS center if needed.
To achieve global adoption, we have minimized all barriers to entry when it comes to integration. For enterprise, we can integrate from the SMS gateway, but many businesses prefer to integrate with a simple API. For operators, we can easily integrate with SMS Center and SMS Firewall or any other node that handles SMTP and SMS traffic.
These technologies are network agnostic, meaning that in the future, even SMS over LTE or any other protocol visible in the network can be supported. The system can be deployed inline, in parallel, upstream or downstream of any firewall or fraud management system without affecting current routing. Unlike other peer-to-peer APIs or centralized databases, network integration is independent from the exchange between validation nodes. A network element or node can use a customized method to submit the data to the SMS registry, and only the exchange between registries is automated and standardized.
This exchange already covers both the incoming and outgoing requests and is more scalable than systems that route through one central global node or require the setup of individual API connectors with every participating entity. These technologies are already used to support information and national security objectives by reducing spam and scam traffic, but of course, the solutions themselves must be secure.
The registry software is usually hosted on a virtual machine within the operator's network. All fraud call logs are stored within the security perimeter of the client, with no access by third parties. The validation process is fully peer-to-peer, with each registry only storing and processing its own data. The role of the central coordination center is to match the sender ID to the IP, and therefore the system does not require extensive export, such as sending all the SMS details to one central data center outside of the network.
For operators and enterprises alike, the AI analysis module can be hosted on the cloud or on-prem for added security. Messages to and from the platform are encrypted, and any information sent over the validation protocol could be sent in an encrypted format. The system complies with GDPR and other privacy regulations, and access and analysis of message content can be tailored to local privacy policies. Validation was originally designed for voice traffic and currently blocks over 10 million fraudulent calls a month. And the solution has proven just as effective with SMS traffic in several networks, already blocking over 3 million AIT messages per month alone.
Currently, validation and AI require separate integration. However, they will soon be combined in one unified platform, further streamlining integration and user experience. With an already sizable community of operators validating traffic on the AB Handshake platform and pilot projects involving validation at the national level thanks to interest from several national regulating bodies already underway, SMS validation at scale is quite feasible. As more groups, hubs, operators and enterprise are onboarded, the solution becomes even more comprehensive, relying less on AI to detect fraudulent patterns and more on validation to positively validate traffic at the network level, but also as incentives shift across the industry as a whole.
Validation between just one major operator and one major bank in the country can have a massive impact on spam and scam, so even rolled out on a smaller scale, it is quite effective. As we've seen before, there is interest in a model that shifts the incentives away from fraud, but what could this actually look like? Operators investing in validation could charge and pay a small premium for each validated message. This slowly shifts monetary incentives in favor of delivering more valid traffic rather than trashing more inflated traffic.
Monetizing access to delivery status allows upstream aggregators to see which messages are trashed and dispute these charges to the downstream providers with evidence. This objective report of delivery and non-delivery makes it much more difficult to continue pumping and trashing schemes, again de-incentivizing this behavior.
Enterprise customers are invested in cybersecurity. We find that our enterprise customers frequently reach 100% ROI within the first months of active blocking. AIT prevention as a value-added service saves enterprises, operators, and even aggregators the headache of disputing and assuming millions in SMS costs.
Some operators are trying to implement in-house AI solutions, but why invest in the R&D when the work is already done? Instead of reinventing the wheel, operators can protect themselves and their customers faster. The solution is highly accessible for all parties. Commercial models can be dynamic, based on actual query volumes, or a fixed OpEx cost based on volume tiers to accommodate businesses and operators of all sizes. This allows operators and enterprise to query only specific messages, like those to certain destinations, for example.
Disputed traffic not only impacts revenues, it injures trust between enterprise customers and service providers. But worst of all, it is destroying trust in SMS itself. If we want to stop the shift to OTT messaging services, flash calls, and other authentication mechanisms, and restore faith in SMS as a secure channel for business messaging, we need a neutral, objective platform to bring visibility to the delivery chain.
When it comes to scalability, simple, flexible integration, as well as future-proof technology and proven ROI make the system a solid investment for any operator. The solution significantly increases the security of SMS itself, utilizes encryption, does not allow third-party access, does not require transfer of message data offsite, and can be deployed on-prem within a secure perimeter. Our patented validation protocol has been repurposed to validate SMS traffic, offering end-to-end visibility of SMS delivery that is viable and achievable on a global scale. AI is now a buzzword, but thanks to our extensive experience developing AI for telecom fraud detection, the system has an incredibly low false positive rate of less than 1%.
Blocking spam and scams significantly improves the user experience. However, the low latency of the system does not impact delivery times, and optional feedback further cultivates trust in SMS as a channel. Adaptable commercial models based on query or traffic volumes make the solution accessible to all players. Businesses and operators have a huge incentive to block SMS AIT, and operators can further profit by expanding fraud prevention and delivery status services.
Most importantly, the system provides the objective evidence needed to prevent and resolve disputes and eventually discourage AIT schemes industry-wide. As an industry, an investment in the integrity and the value of A2P messaging is sure to pay off. Thanks for your time, and we really look forward to see you in Vienna.
Thanks for watching.